Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Gaur Bhakta-vrinda. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta-vrinda. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta-vrinda. हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीन बंधो जगतपते गोपेश गोपिकांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कंचन गौरंगी राधे वृंदानेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरि प्रिये नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। बोलो श्री राधे गोलोकानंद भगवान की
जय।
श्रीमद् भागवतम की
जय।
हरे कृष्णा।
हरे कृष्णा।
हरे कृष्णा प्रेम सर।
हरे कृष्णा। एक क्वेश्चन था, जो उसमें गोपी कांत बोलते हैं ना, गोपी तो समझ में आया, वो कांत क्या हुआ उसमें?
गोपी का कांत, लाइक जो गोपिका के जो कांत है, राइट, पति परमेश्वर बोलते हैं वैसे, राइट, लेकिन जो गोपिका के जो सबसे प्रिय है वो कृष्ण भगवान, राइट। तो राधे रानी के सबसे प्रिय है, सारे गोपियों के सबसे प्रिय है। सो तो यह कृष्ण भगवान है। जो भक्ति भाव जो है, जो गोपियों का भक्ति भाव है, वो किसी और में नहीं है, राइट। दैट्स व्हाट। कूल, वेरी नाइस। तो शुरू करते हैं हम लोग। कल हम लोग ये श्लोक पढ़ रहे थे 20 to 23 ऑफ 6th चैप्टर, अध्याय 6 पढ़ रहे हैं। और जैसा कि हम लोग पढ़ रहे हैं, प्रहलाद महाराज जो भी उनके साथी हैं, ऑल द अदर स्टूडेंट्स, उनको ट्रांसेंडेंटल नॉलेज दे रहे हैं, राइट, स्पिरिचुअल नॉलेज दे रहे हैं। और दैट्स व्हाट वी आर रीडिंग राइट नाउ। हरे कृष्णा मयूर।
कृष्णा
कृष्णा। सो वी आर स्टार्टिंग द अध्याय 6 ऑफ कैंटो 7। कल हम लोग पढ़ रहे थे, प्रहलाद महाराज अपने साथियों को ट्रांसेंडेंटल मैसेज दे रहे हैं, नारायण भक्ति, लॉर्ड विष्णु भक्ति के बारे में बता रहे हैं। सो वी रेड दिस यस्टरडे एंड इट सेज केवल अनुभव आनंद स्वरूप है, परमेश्वर है। इज डिस्क्राइबिंग लॉर्ड विष्णु एंड इज आस्किंग एवरीवन, राइट, all his associates, to really dedicate and be in the devotional service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yeah, it says the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Supreme Controller, who is infallible and indefatigable, is present in different forms of life, from the inert living beings, stir, such as the plants, to Brahma, the foremost created living being. Yeah. So the living beings which are stir, right, which are constant, like trees, up to Lord Brahma, who is the foremost, the Prajapati, right, the first created living being. He is also present in the variety of material creations and in the material elements, the total material energy and the modes of material nature, Satgun, Rajogun, and Tamogun, as well as the unmanifested material nature and the false ego. Although he is one, he is present everywhere. And he is also the transcendental super soul, the cause of all causes, who is present as the observer in the course of the hearts of all living entities. He is indicated as that which is pervaded and as the all-pervading super soul, but actually he cannot be indicated. He is changeless and undivided. He is simply perceived as the supreme Sachidanand, eternity, knowledge, and bliss. Sat, Chit, and Anand. being covered by the curtain of the external energy, to the atheist, he appears non-existent. Yeah, because people are covered by the conditional conditional soul, covered by the material energy. We think the God doesn't exist, but actually he does. Yeah. And then we are reading this beautiful purport. We'll continue from here. Yeah. So let's start. Anilji.
The supreme cause is Krishna, and devotees who have surrendered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead can realize Him and His presence within the universe and within the atom. Andantara stha Parmanu Chayanatarastham. This realization is possible only for devotees who have fully surrendered unto the lotus feet of the Lord. For others, it is not possible. This is confirmed by the Lord Himself in Bhagavad Gita 7.14. Devi hai isa gunamayi mama maya duratyaya mam iva ye prapadyante mayam etam tarantai te. The process of surrender in a devotional attitude is accepted by a fortunate living being after wandering through many varieties of life on many planetary systems. When one comes to the real understanding of the absolute truth by the grace of a devotee, one surrenders to the Supreme Personality of Godhead as confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, Bahu Nam Janmanam Ante Jnanavam Mam Prapadyate. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. So what is mentioned in this paragraph is essentially this realization, the relationship with Lord Shri Krishna is only possible for the devotees who have fully surrendered unto the lotus feet of the Lord. That's the only way. The devotional service is the only way by which you can realize that. Otherwise, it's not possible for the conditioned soul with the physical limitations we have, right? And the process of surrender is also not easy for everyone, right? He's saying that is accepted by a fortunate living being. After wandering through many varieties of life on many planetary systems, what it is essentially saying is we have been existing since day one, right? So it is not that we are like 30 years, 40 years, 50 years old. We have been there all the time as a soul with different bodies, different planets, right? But at some point in the human being form, that what we are reading yesterday, right? As a human form, Manav Janam Durlabham, right? In the human form, which you also get by, which is Durlabh, right? Whereas after going through all these sufferings, then the real understanding of the absolute truth by the grace of a devotee can be achieved in the human form of life, right? Says Bahunam Janmanam Ante Gyanvan Mam Prapadyate. And they come to the surrender of Lord Shri Krishna. Yeah, is what is mentioned here. Let's continue reading. Prem sir.
Prahlāda Maharaj's class friends who were born of Datta families thought that realizing the absolute was extremely difficult. Indeed, we have experienced that many people say this very thing. Actually, however, this is not so. The absolute, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is most intimately related to all living entities. Therefore, if one understands the Vaishnava philosophy, which explains how he is present everywhere and how he acts everywhere, to worship the Supreme Lord or to realize him is not at all difficult. The realization of the Lord, however, is possible only in the association of devotees. Therefore, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in his teachings to Rupa Goswami, said, CC Madhya 19.151, Brahmananda Brahmite Kona Bhagyavan Jiva, Guru Krishna Prasade Paya Bhakti Lata Bija. The living entity in the material condition wanders through many varieties of life and many varieties of circumstances. But if he comes in contact with a pure devotee and is intelligent enough to take instructions from the pure devotee regarding the process of devotional service, he can understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the origin of Brahman and Paramatma without difficulty. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. Yeah. And this is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself mentioned. Brahmand Brahmite Kon Bhagyavan Jiv. Like the one who is lucky after wandering through the whole Brahmand, right? In so many different varieties of life, is Guru Krishna Prasade Paye Bhakti Lata Bij. Right? With the Kripa blessings of Lord Shri Krishna and the Guru, if he gets in touch, yeah, then he can understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Right? Mayur?
In this regard, Srila Madhavacharya says, Antaryami Pratyag Atma Vyapata Kalo Hari Smartha Prakriya Tamasa Vratat Harir Ave Asi Varyam Na Jnaneta. The Lord is present as Antaryami in everyone's heart and is visible in the individual soul covered by a body. Indeed, he is everywhere at every time in every condition. But because he is covered by the curtain of material energy, to an ordinary person there appears to be no God. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Tarun?
Tasmat sarvesu bhutesu dayam kruta saharudyam bhavam asuram anmutya yaya tusyate adhoktya saja. Therefore, my dear young friends, born of demons, please act in such a way that the Supreme Lord, who is beyond the conception of material knowledge, will be satisfied. Give up your demonic nature and act without enmity or duality. Show mercy to all living entities by enlightening them in devotional service, thus becoming their well-wishers. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So who is speaking right now?
Prahlāda Maharaj.
Prahlāda Maharaj, yeah, to all his friends. And he's telling them, right, even though you are born of demons, please engage in the devotional service, is what he's essentially telling them. And devotional service of whom? He says Adokshaja. Adokshaja is, that means like one who is beyond the conception of material knowledge, right? Like we are reading in the last paragraph, that you can only understand and realize the Supreme Lord by the devotional service. Why? Because he is not an Adokshaja. Adokshaja is beyond the conception of the material knowledge. You cannot understand by the materialistic knowledge. Yeah. But that's what Prahlāda Maharaj is also telling to all his demon friends. And again, a nice purpose. Let's read this. Anilji.
The Lord says in Bhagavad Gita 18.55, Bhaktya Mam Abhijanati Yavan Yasa Kashmi Tatavatah. One can understand the Supreme Personality as he is only by devotional service. Prahlāda Maharaj ultimately instructed his class friends, the sons of the demons, to accept the process of devotional service by preaching the science of Krishna consciousness to everyone. Preaching is the best service to the Lord. The Lord will immediately be extremely satisfied with one who engages in this service of preaching Krishna consciousness. This is confirmed by the Lord himself in Bhagavad Gita 18.69. Nacha tasman manushesu kasuchin me priya kritam maha. There is no servant in this world more dear to me than he, nor will there ever be one more dear. If one sincerely tries his best to spread Krishna consciousness by preaching the glories of the Lord and his supremacy, even if he is imperfectly educated, he becomes the dearmost servant of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is Bhakti. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Ajay.
Hare Krishna.
As one performs this service for humanity without discrimination between friends and enemies, the Lord becomes satisfied and the mission of one's life is fulfilled. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu therefore advised everyone to become a Guru devotee and preach Krishna consciousness. Yare dekha tare kaha Krishna upadesha. There is the easiest way to realize the Supreme Personality of Godhead. By such preaching, the preacher becomes satisfied and those to whom he preaches are also satisfied. This is the process of bringing peace and tranquility to the entire world. Bhoktaram yagna tapasyam sarvalok maheshwaram suhridam sarvabhutanam inatva man santim rachati. One is expected to understand the three formulas of knowledge concerning the Supreme Lord, that He is the supreme enjoyer and He is the proprietor of everything, and that He is the best well-wisher and friend of everyone. A preacher should personally understand these truths and preach them to everyone. Then there will be peace and tranquility all over the world. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. Okay.
तुष्टे च तत्र किमल भमयन्त आधे किम तैगुण व्यक्ति करादि ये स्वसिद्धा धर्माद्य किम गुणेन च कान्किश्रितेन सारम जुषाम चरण योरुगात्याम न. Nothing is unobtainable for the devotees who have satisfied the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the cause of all causes, the original source of everything. The Lord is the reservoir of unlimited spiritual qualities. For devotees, therefore, who are transcendental to the modes of material nature, what is the use of following the principles of religion, economic development, sense gratification, and liberation, which are all automatically obtainable under the influence of the modes of nature? We devotees always glorify the lotus feet of the Lord, and therefore we need not ask for anything in terms of dharma, kama, artha, or moksha. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. What is Prahlāda Maharaj saying is Saram Jusham Charanyo Rup Gayatam. Charan Ro Yo Rup Gayatam Nam. Right? We always just glorify the lotus feet of the Lord. Yeah. Without asking for anything else. Mayur?
Prahlāda Maharaj said, Agunena cha kankitesna. If one is engaged in the transcendental loving service of the lotus feet of the Lord, he does not need anything in terms of dharma, artha, kama, or moksha. In Srimad Bhagavatam, therefore, in the beginning of the transcendental literature, it is said, Dharma prohita ketavo traha dharma, artha, kama, and moksha are beginning of the transcendental, are ketavya, false and unnecessary. Nirmatsaranam, persons who are completely transcendental to the material activities of separateness, who make no distinction between mine and yours, but who simply engage in the devotional service of the Lord, are actually fit to accept Bhagavata Dharma. Dharmam Bhagavatam iha. Because they are nimatsara, not jealous of anyone, they want to make other devotees even their enemies. In this regard, Srila Madhavacharya remarks, Kankshate mokshakam api sukham nakanskato sato yataha. Devotees are not desirous of any material happiness, including the happiness derived from liberation. This is called anyabhilashita shunyam jnana karmadya advratam. Karmis desire material happiness and Jnanis desire liberation. But a devotee does not desire anything. He is simply satisfied by rendering transcendental loving service at the lotus feet of the Lord and glorifying Him everywhere by preaching, which is his life and soul. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So,
Dharmartha kama iti yo vihitas trivarga ishya trayi nedamo vividha cha vartah manye tade dakhilam niyamasya satyam swatmarpanam swa suhardra parmasya pumsah. Religion, economic development, and sense gratification. These are described in the Vedas as Trivarga, or three ways to salvation. Within these three categories are education and self-realization, ritualistic ceremonies performed according to Vedic injunction, logic, the science of law and order, and the various means of earning one's livelihood. These are the external subject matters of study in the Vedas, and therefore I consider them material. However, I consider surrender to the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu to be transcendental. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, so what Prahlāda Maharaj is saying, that even the religious rituals, right? He considers them materialistic, but considers surrender to the lotus feet of the Lord Vishnu to be the only transcendental activities, right? Devotional service. So this is how Prahlāda Maharaj is instructing all the students there. Anilji?
Jnanam tadetadamlam durvapamaha narayano narsakha kil naradaya ekantinam bhagavatasta kinchananam padarvindar jasat luptudehinam syata. Narayan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the well-wisher and friend of all living entities, formally explained this transcendental knowledge to the great Saint Narad. Such knowledge is extremely difficult to understand without the mercy of a saintly person like Narad. But everyone who has taken shelter of Narad's disciplic succession can understand this confidential knowledge. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So what Prahlāda Maharaj is saying is that Narayan, Lord Vishnu, right? Yeah, he explained this transcendental knowledge to the grandson Narad. Yeah, Narayano Narsakah Kil Naradaya. Yeah, to Narad Muni, Devrishi Narad, Lord Narayan himself explained this knowledge. And so what he's saying is such knowledge is extremely difficult to understand without the mercy of a saintly person like Devrishi Narad. Yeah, is what Prahlāda Maharaj is saying. Ajay?
श्रुत में तन्मया पूर्व ज्ञानम विज्ञान संयुतम धर्म भागवतम शुद्धम नारदा देव दर्शनाथ. Prahlāda Maharaj continued, I received this knowledge from the great saint Narad Muni, who is always engaged in devotional service. This knowledge, which is called Bhagavad Dharma, is fully scientific. It is based on logic and philosophy and is free from all material contamination. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. So I think what Prahlāda Maharaj is saying is, where did he gain this knowledge from? He
Narad
got
Muni.
this knowledge from
Narad Muni.
Narad Muni. Narad Muni. Yeah. And Prem sir, this was your question in the beginning.
Yes.
Remember?
Yeah.
Like, how does Prahlāda Maharaj, only 5 years old, and he understands everything? And where
Right.
did he gain this knowledge from? So he's saying he got it from Narad Muni, Narad Dev Darshanat. Yeah. And what he's also saying is Narad Muni, of course, Dharmam, Bhagavatam, Shuddham, right? This knowledge, right? Of course, Narad Muni is always engaged in devotional service, but this knowledge is called the Bhagavad Dharma. Yeah, Bhagavatam, Dharma Bhagavatam, and is fully scientific. Vijnana Sanyutam. So it is not just anything, right? It's fully Vijnana Sanyutam, and it's based on Purva Jnanam, and of course is free from all material contamination, is what Prahlāda Maharaj is saying. He is answering to all the students. Shri Daitya Putra Uchaha Prahlāda Tvam Vayam Chapi Narte Anyam Vigahe Guru Etabhyam Guru Putrabhyam Bala Namapi Ishvaro Balishanatah Purastasya Mahata Sango Duranvaya Chindi Nasansaya Soumya Shache Dvistrabhakaranam. The sons of Daemon replied, Dear Prahlād, neither you nor we know any teacher or spiritual master other than Shand and Amark, the sons of Shukracharya. After all, we are children and they are our controllers. For you especially, who always remain within the palace, it is very difficult to associate with a great personality. Dear friend, most gentle one, would you kindly explain how it was possible for you to hear Narad? Kindly dispel our doubts in this regard. Yeah. So all the students are again asking him like, hey, even for us, we are outside the palace, right? And we can only hear Shand and Amar as our teachers. And you have always been in the palace. How could you even associate with great personalities like Narad? And that's the doubt they have. So this is the question they are asking Prahlāda Maharaj. Yeah. Chindiyana Sansayam. Yeah, they have the Sansay. How did you really associate it with such personalities? Yeah. And this completes thus the end the Bhaktivedanta purpose of the 7th canto 6th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam entitled Prahlāda instructs his demonic schoolmates. Hello, Srimad Bhagavatam ki.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll continue reading the 7th adhyay, what Prahlāda Maharaj learned in the war. Yeah. So now Prahlāda Maharaj will be describing how did he really gain this knowledge from Dev Rishi Narad. Yeah. So we'll continue reading this. Ajay.
Shri Narad Uvach Evam Dev Daityasute Prishto Bhagavato Prishto Mahabhagavato Asura Uvach Tatasmanya Man Smaran Madanu Bhashitam. Narad Muni said, although Prahlāda Maharaj was born in a family of Asuras, he was the greatest of all devotees. Having thus been questioned by his class friends, the sons of Asuras, he remembered the words spoken to him by me and replied to his friends as follows. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. So here Narad Muni is telling this to whom?
Yudhishthira Maharaj.
Yudhishthira Maharaj, right? Remember where the story began, right? When the Yudhishthira Maharaj asked Narad Muni, how did Shishupal got merged into the Lord Krishna's body? Remember, right?
Yeah.
So that's the question and answer is still going on. So Narad Muni is telling Yudhishthira Maharaj and everyone in the Rajshri Yajna that although Prahlāda Maharaj was born in the family of Asuras, he was Mahabhagavato. Yeah, Mahabhagavato. Right? He was the greatest of all the devotees, as we know. Yeah. And so having thus been questioned by his class friends, the sons of Asuras, Prahlāda Maharaj remembered the words spoken to him by me. By me is the Narad Muni, and replied to his friend as follows, right? So, Prem sir?
Shri Prahlāda Uvach Pitri Prasthite Smankam Tapse Mandarachalam Yuddho Dhemam Param Chakrur Virbudha Danav Prati. Prahlāda Maharaj said, when our father Hiranyakashipu went to Mandrachal mountain to execute several austerities, In his absence, the demigods, headed by King Indra, made a severe attempt to subdue all demons in warfare. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Right? So if you remember, in the previous chapters we read how Hiranyakashipu, yeah, he goes to Mandrachalam mountain to do tapasya. Yeah, because and why does he do that? Do you remember why does he go and tries to do the tapasya?
So that he can become invincible and become like Brahma.
Correct. He can become invincible, and because he really wanted to also take revenge to Lord Vishnu himself.
Vishnu,
Yeah. And that was because Lord Vishnu
killed his brother.
Yeah, killed his brother Hiranyaksh, right? In the form of Lord
Vara.
Varaha. Yeah. So that's how. So when Hiranyakashipu, right, he went to Mandrachal mountain to execute severe austerities, which he did as we read, right? Yeah. The King Indra tried to subdue all the demons, is what Prahlāda Maharaj is telling to all the students. Tarun?
Pili care ahir iva dvishtya loko patapanaha papena papo bhakti sthiti vadanto vasavadhyaya. Alas, as a serpent is eaten by small ants, so the troublesome Hiranyakashipu, who always inflicted miseries upon all types of people, has now been defeated by the reaction of his own sinful activities. Saying this, the demigods, headed by King Indra, arranged to fight the demons. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah? So Hiranyakashipu goes to do the tapasya, and then behind that, Dev Indra, yeah, fights with the demons. तेषामति बलोधोगम निशम्यासुरयूथपा वध्यमाना है सुरे भीता दुद्रु है सर्वतो दिशम कलत्र पुत्र वित्ताप्तान गृहान पशु परिच्छदान नावेक्षमाना सुतवरीता है सर्वे प्राण परिप्सव है. When the great leaders of the demons who were being killed one after another saw the unprecedented exertion of the demigods in fighting, they began to flee, scattering themselves in all directions. Simply to protect their lives, they hastily fled from their homes, wives, children, animals, and household paraphernalia, paying no heed to all these. The demons simply fled. And so when the devatas attacked, the demons started fleeing. Mayur?
Vyalumpanam Rajshibir Mamra Jayakanshinam Indrastu Rajmahishim Mataram Mama Jagrahita. The victorious demigods plundered the palace of Hiranyakashipu, the king of demons, and destroyed everything within it. Then Indra, king of heaven, arrested my mother, the queen. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah? So Prahlāda Maharaj is telling that after defeating all the demons, they arrested Raja Maheshim Mataram. Yeah? They arrested Prahlāda Maharaj's mother, who was, of course, the queen. Yeah? Anilji?
Niyamanam bhayodignam ruditim purarimiva yadraksha yagatastraha tastatra devarshid dradrasho pathi. As she was being led away, crying in fear like a Kurari captured by a vulture, the great sage Narad, who at that time had no engagement, appeared on the scene and saw her in that condition. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah? So when Lord Indra was carrying away Prahlāda Maharaj's mother, Narad Muni appeared. Ajay?
प्राह नैनाम सुरपते नेतु मर्हस्य नागसम मुंज मुंज महाभाग सतीम पर परिग्रहम. Narad Muni said, O Indra, king of the demigods, This woman is certainly sinless. You should not drag her off in this merciless way. O greatly fortunate one, this chaste woman is the wife of another. You must immediately release her. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So Narad Muni asking Indradev to release Prahlāda Maharaj's mother. Yeah. Okay.
Sri Indra Uvacha. Astesya Jatre Vir Mahishram Surdish Asthyam Yav Prasavam Mokshe Padvi Gata. King Indra said, in the womb of this woman, the wife of the demon Hiranyakashipu is the seed of that great demon. Therefore, let her remain in our custody until her child is delivered, and then we shall release her. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So Indradev is saying, we want to retain the queen because she is going to give birth to another demon. Tarun?
Shri Narad Vacha Aham Nishkilbhisa Sankasan Saksan Maha Bhagavato Mahan Tvaya Na Prapsatyate Samstham Anantanucharo Bali. Narad Muni replied, the child within this woman's womb is faultless and sinless. Indeed, he is a great devotee, a powerful servant of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, you will not be able to kill him. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. And Narad Muni, of course, Dev Rishi Narad knows everything, right? So he's telling Dev Rishi to Dev Indra that the child is actually a great devotee. And so once he's a great devotee, you will not be able to kill him, right? He's Maha Bhagavato Mahan is what Narad Muni is telling to Indradev. Ituktistam vihayendro devareshe mananyan vachah ananta priya bhaktenam parikramya divam yayo. When the great saint Narad Muni had thus spoken, King Indra, being respectful to Narad's words, immediately released my mother. Because of my being a devotee of the Lord, all the demigods circumambulated her. Then they returned to their celestial kingdom. Yeah. So what they are saying is because Dev Rishi Narad said that he is actually a devotee, they gave a parikrama to the queen. Yeah. Because of the Ananta Priya Bhaktinam. And then Divam Yayo. Divam is their celestial kingdom, right? The Detalo, they went to the celestial kingdom. So let's just read this, Mayur.
Although King Indra and the other demigods are exalted personalities, they were so obedient to Narad Muni that King Indra immediately accepted Narad Muni's words concerning Prahlāda Maharaj. This is called understanding by the Parampara system. Indra and the demigods did not know that a great devotee was in the womb of Kayandhu, the wife of Hiranyakashipu, but they accepted the authoritative statements of Narad Muni and immediately offered their respects to the devotee by circumambulating the woman in whose womb he was living. To understand God and the devotee by the Parampara system is the process of knowledge. There is no need to speculate about God and his devotee. One should accept the statements of a bona fide devotee and thus try to understand. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, there is no need to speculate like most of us try to speculate things and so many things. There's no need because the knowledge has been coming from the Lord Vishnu himself, right? So we're going to pause here and we'll continue to read this story of Narad Muni. Yeah. Narad Muni instructing Prahlāda Maharaj. Yeah. So, and then how does this happen? Very interesting. And of course, we have Ekadashi tomorrow. And then we have Holi this weekend, right? And Anilji had reminded it's Holi where we try to save whom? In the Holi, we try to save Prahlāda Maharaj from Holika Dahan, right? So it's such a coincidence that we are actually reading about Prahlāda Maharaj during this time. So we also, and ultimately, as we know, Narsingh Bhagwan appears and saves Prahlāda Maharaj and kills Hiranyakashipu. So today we are going to hear the Narsingh Bhagwan Aarti again. Yeah. And then we will pause for this week and see you again next week. Yeah. 1 second. So
Namaste Narasingaya, Namaste Narasingaya, Namaste Narasingaya, Namaste Narasingaya, Prahlāda Lāda Dayine, Prahlāda Lāda Dayine, Hiranyakashipu शरणं प्रपद्ये नरसिंहमधिं शरणं प्रपद्ये नरसिंहमधिं शरणं प्रपद्ये नरसिंहमधिं शरणं प्रपद्ये तव कर कमलवरे नखाम् अद्भुत शृङ्गार दालिता हिरण्यकशिपो अनुभृङ्गा केशवधृता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे नवकर कमलवरे अद्भुत शृङ्गार दालिता हिरण्यकशिपो अनुभृङ्गा केशवधृता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे
तो श्री नरसिंह भगवान की
जय।
Jai.
प्रहलाद महाराज. All right. So happy Ekadashi and enjoy holy celebration.
Happy Holi to everybody.
Happy Holi.
Happy Holi.
And
Happy
we'll
Holi,
see
everyone.
you Holi. Hope everyone has some plans this weekend, I'm sure. And then we'll continue reading about Prahlāda Maharaj on Monday, 9:30 p.m. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, everyone.
Hare Krishna.